Hey, what up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Lil Durk, man. And specifically, we're going to be talking about this back and forth between Lil Durk and anybody over there with NBA Youngboy, man. We could say between him and 4K Trey, between OTF and 4K Trey, or just between Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy, man. It's been a lot of back and forth, but the crazy part about it is I can't think of a time that Lil Durk has said their names. I don't think he's ever dissed NBA Youngboy directly. I don't think he's ever dissed 4K Trey directly. It's always been kind of on the sneak side, and recently he came out and spoke against any of the back and forth because he felt like he's not going to be going back and forth with any goofies out here. That was coming from Lil Durk himself. Now, NBA Youngboy, on the other hand, he's been openly dissing people. He even dissed Lil Durk's fiance, so you know that hit in a special place, man. Now, Lil Durk doesn't stop being petty though, man. And he does get his sneak disses in. And what's funny is he picks and chooses the times wisely that he goes at his ops or disses anybody in the rap game, be it sneak or otherwise. And a lot of fans believe that because Gucci Mane dropped a song yesterday that was allegedly dissing NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk had to react and just put his foot stamp on the fact, man. Now, before we break down these posts and talk about this article about this, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the last 72 hours in hip hop. So we had DaBaby and NBA Youngboy drop their joint project. And we got a new King Von album, man, since he's been deceased, right? Now, with all that, we also got a diss track from Gucci Mane. Now, according to fans out there, Gucci Mane's new song and video called Publicity Stunt, they're saying that he's dissing none other than NBA Youngboy, man. Now, Lil Durk took this as an opportunity to react according to some reports out there. Now, let's look at this story from hotnewhiphop.com and talk about what it says. Now, in the headline, it says this. It says, Lil Durk reacts to Gucci Mane's diss against NBA Youngboy. Now, they're going on record and saying that is an NBA Youngboy diss, and there's a lot of clues that you can prove so, man. In my last video about it, I talked about the verses, the outro, everything that pointed to that being a diss to NBA Youngboy, and the fact that NBA Youngboy said Gucci Mane, Lil Durk, and everybody else's name in his last song where he was dissing everybody, man, called I Hate Youngboy. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, Lil Durk co-signs Gucci Mane's publicity stunt diss against Youngboy. The feud between rappers Lil Durk and Youngboy continues to evolve as more people get involved. More recently, Boosie responded to Youngboy's diss, I Hate Youngboy, returning ammo with a few lines on his deluxe album targeted at Youngboy. Now, Boosie took to social media and also vented about it, talking about the fact that, he didn't like the fact that NBA Youngboy came at him, but he really didn't have any super harsh feelings towards Youngboy, and he was actually disappointed about the situation. Now, following Boosie's response, it seems Gucci Mane wanted to take some time to address Youngboy's lyrics about him, also returning fire with a song called Publicity Stunt. And all morning, Gucci Mane's name was trending just because of that song being dropped, And eventually, everybody started to look at the other projects that were out there, but the first thing people were talking about was this Gucci Mane diss. Now, the story goes on to say this. It says, on I Hate Youngboy, the 22-year-old Baton Rouge-based rapper took aim at Gucci Mane for jumping on a song with his rival Lil Durk, saying, I used to mess with Gucci till I seen he don't like me, and then, basically dissed him, right? And Gucci Mane returned fire on his new song, Publicity Stunt, where he basically painted the picture that NBA Youngboy is doing this all for publicity, getting this all for likes and attention and for streams and to keep people interested. Even though NBA Youngboy is probably one of the most high-profile, most looked-at artists in music right now, especially when you talk about YouTube, it seems like Gucci Mane did have a fair assessment, man. It seemed like he was like, well, why put everybody's name in there instead of just hit me up? That's what I took from this situation, right? Now, Gucci Mane went and dissed NBA Youngboy in several different ways on that song. And in the outro, he wanted to let people know that, yo, man, this dude used to say he used to be like me, and now he's dissing me. And that was the big point he wanted to make, right? Now, the story also says that considering his months-long feud against Youngboy, it doesn't come as a surprise to see Lil Durk reacting to Gucci's diss, posting about the song on his Instagram stories and writing "Aha." You'll recall that the title of Durk's own diss song against Youngboy. Now, when Durk dropped "Aha," it was kind of like he faked everybody out, man, because we thought he was dropping his album on that night, and he really gave us a brand new video, and it's still trending like #2 on YouTube still to this day, man. So it looks like him and NBA Youngboy are still in steady competition for the top of the YouTube trending charts with both their diss songs, man. Now, it seems like Lil Durk just wanted to rub it in a little bit by reposting what Gucci said and adding his song title to it, because it seems at this point there's a lot of big wigs, a lot of big rappers in the game, and they're all clicked up against Youngboy, you know, not trying to paint it like they're picking on Youngboy, because that is obviously not the situation. It's an even back and forth, especially when you factor in how big NBA Youngboy's platform is on YouTube. But man, what it seems like is even Lil Durk took out time to say, forget it, man. I'm going to go ahead and co-sign what Gucci said and just give a little jab right here to let NBA Youngboy know where it still stands. You know what I mean? And what's even more interesting is Lil Durk has a release of his own coming out next week. So next Friday, Lil Durk drops his album, you know? So we'll see how his album does as opposed to all the albums that have been released today and the past week. You had Kodak Black last week, and then now you have this joint project between with NBA Youngboy and DaBaby, and now you have the King Von album, which is getting a lot of praise online, man. A lot of people are feeling this King Von album, and I've checked it out once on YouTube, and I'll probably check it out on other platforms just to get the full feel of it. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think about this, man? Do you think that with this situation, Durk should probably just leave it alone? Or do you think by him being petty and, you know, basically co-signing Gucci Man, dissing NBA Youngboy and showing him that, yo, man, as an OG in this rap game, I still got some go in me, that he's carrying on this beef a little too much? Or is the fact that NBA Youngboy put everybody's name in his last diss song, has been reckless on social media, talking about, you know, with the Remember the Money Challenge, what he was spelling out in the Money Challenge, the things that they were doing on Clubhouse, where they were kind of going into OTF rooms and trolling them. I mean, NBA Youngboy and them, they've been doing some trolling. And he's got his homeboys, like Quando Rondo and them, they've been quiet, but they haven't been dropping too much music that's been related or that's made even a big splash like these other projects. But what do you guys think about it? Do you think that Lil Durk should leave it alone? Or do you think going into his album, we're about to hear some real dissing because, you know, he has no reason not to at this point? Okay, now with that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.